This short seminar is on some tips and tricks you can use to spice up your Google Sheets. Some people don't like Google Forms, and that's fine. But you can accomplish a lot of the same stuff in Sheets. That's why Google Forms has an attached spreadsheet that you can put onto it. But if you prefer, kind of this look and like working with Sheets, there's some tips and tricks that you can use to do stuff. So what I've set up is I've set up a little bit of a grid here, and what I put was Dad, Mom, John, and Jane, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Let's say that this was, let's say Dad or Mom wanted to figure out what everybody wanted to eat on vacation, so they could plan out meals, something like that. Of course, this can apply to any spreadsheet. The tools can apply to any spreadsheet you might want to create. So let's say that I wanted to have a few instructions on how to complete this. What I would do is I would just merge some cells. So how you do that is you just highlight a block of cells. And then what you want to do is you want to come over here to format and then merge cells and then merge all. And what you do is now you've created a block of cells. So what I would do then is I would put in the instructions about how I wanted this to be completed. So I put, what do you want to eat on vacation? Okay, and then I'd put, let's say the selections are hamburgers, hot dogs, and let's say veggie dogs, in case there's a vegetarian in the family. So those are my selections. And then what I want to do is I want to have each member of the family go through and put down their responses here. But how in a spreadsheet do you choose a couple of different options? Well, it's pretty easy. What you need to use is data validation. And then what you can do is right here. See how I clicked on this and then this moved to the bottom? You can change the orientation of how you want this to appear, top, middle, or bottom, by coming to this little button right here. And this is the vertical align. And so what I want to do is, you can see it's oriented towards the bottom. I can just change it to the top. And so when I click out of it, it stays on top. How about before I do data validation, if you wanted to kind of like spice up your header, make it look a little bit more appealing, it's a real simple. All you'd have to do is just highlight your header area, and let's go ahead and just do that. So just the header is highlighted. What I could do is, and this works especially well if there's a lot of information that you have in the cell, is I would just come up here to text rotation. And what you can do is you can rotate the text to allow for more room and just give it a little bit more of a visually appealing look. You can actually change it to any of these orientations or a specific degree. For now, I'm just going to choose tilt up. So when I do that, you can see that now the orientation is changed. Is a little bit more appealing. In Excel, you can actually change the orientation of the cell so they're slanted as well, but this works just fine. So let's say I wanted to add a little bit more appeal to it. I could change the color by going to conditional formatting. So you just right click and go to conditional formatting, and then add a single color. And then now I have nice little color coded. I could actually change the color of each individual cell to differentiate, but that's how you do it. Right click and then conditional formatting, you can change the cell color. But then back to data validation, what if I want each member of the family to be able to choose between these three options? What I want to do is I want to come over to data and then data validation. So all I did was just choose the cell. You notice this little box appears below. We're going to cover that little box in a few seconds. But so highlight the cell, come to data, and then data validation. And then what this is going to do is allow you to get some options in there. So it says list from a range. We don't want that. We want to click on the arrow and then go to list of items. And then what I want to do is I want to list the items. Hamburgers. Oop, be nice if I spelled it right. Hamburgers, hot dogs, and veggie dogs. Okay. So hamburgers, hot dogs, veggie dogs. And if I put in show validation help text, what that's going to do is it's going to put a notation up here that they need to pick something. So I'm just going to leave that blank for now, but those are my options. I click save, and now you notice that the arrow comes up here, and then now they can choose between the three. Okay. Now what if I wanted that option to appear across all these boxes. That's really easy, and this is kind of a cool tool. You just click on the box and then drag it to wherever you want those. So I can drag it down, and then I can drag it across. Now, each one of these has those 3 options. And so you can probably imagine what this might be good for, creating several options. Now, the other cool thing that this can do, this is kind of off the topic of this little grid that I made. It will also do sequential numbers. So I know that there's been kind of some questions about the way that Excel does it versus Google Sheets, but this is pretty cool. If I went like this, if I go 1, and then in the next column I go 2, and then I highlight these 2 columns and the box appears, when I drag down, it will sequentially add those numbers up. Not add them up, just do a sequential number list. So that's pretty handy if you want to, number a column separately, or you have a wide range of numbers, or, raffle tickets, or whatever it is that you're doing. That's an easy way to create a sequential list of numbers. Okay, so that's a quick tutorial on some tips and tricks for Sheets. And that's it.